How is everybody feeling this morning? We are going to get started. This is going to be some nice deep stretching, and we'll put balance work in there. If you'd like, you can have a strap and blocks. If you don't have those things, you could always use a belt, books, anything that might give you a little extra boost, but you don't need them. It's just up to you on helping your practice. So I will get started. I usually like to start my classes with a little meditation, just so we can all get centered and get into our space before we get going. So you can find something to sit on. You're welcome to lie down for it. And we will get comfortable and just start to set ourselves up for good practice. If anybody has questions along the way, I try and pop up and look throughout. It's hard to see as I'm teaching, but when we're in longer postures, I can hop up there and take a look. So with that being said, go ahead and find a seat. You're welcome to sit on a cushion or a block and just begin to cross your legs or lay down flat on your back if you prefer for meditation. We're just going to do this for a few minutes, get our breath together and get centered in our space. I have a little bit of just light music on in the background. If it's too loud, let me know. I'm pretty loud, so it usually isn't a problem. All right, so here we go. I'm so glad everybody's here. All right, so as we sit in our space or lie in our space, I want you to try to elongate the spine while relaxing the shoulders. So think of your head pulling to the ceiling or to opposite walls if you're lying. Palms rest on your lap or by your sides. If your palms are down, it means you're trying to get grounded, rested. Palms up are for energy and open for new things. So however your palms lie, maybe that's just your body telling you what you need right now. So begin to close your eyes, or if that's uncomfortable, find a soft gaze at something in front of you. As you sit here, I want you to take note of your body at this point. Does your body feel tense? Does it feel relaxed? Like I said, maybe you just woke up, or maybe you're going to bed. Wherever you are in your space, I want you to take note of your heart rate. Take note of your mind. And then the muscles in your body. Are things feeling tight? Are you holding tension? A good way to check for tension is take note of your jaw. Are you clenching your jaw together tightly? Try and release and let go. Notice if you clench your teeth or press the tongue to the roof of your mouth or the back of your teeth. Notice if your shoulders are creeping up to your ears, allow them to roll down and back. Together, let's do some breath work. Release all the breath out of your lungs, the old, the stale, the unwanted, the unneeded. Release and let go. On your next inhale, seal your lips and begin to inhale through the nose. Breathing all the way in, feel the chest expand, feel the belly expand, hold it at the top. And when you feel ready, open your mouth, let go, release. Notice the tension melt away. Together again, seal the lips, begin to inhale through the nose. As you fill up here, notice the belly expand. As you fill up as much as you can, the breath takes over the body, fresh oxygen. When ready, open your mouth, exhale, let go. One last time, seal your lips. Begin to inhale through the nose. Once you get to the top this time, I want you to hold it there. See if there's any more space for more oxygen. Try and inhale one more little breath. And exhale, let go through the mouth. Release. I want you to start to take note of where your body is physically now, where you've gone mentally. Beginning to notice we're letting go of anything that's not serving us, getting present in the space we're in. We're from all different parts of the world put together. Let our energy come together in this space. Feeling balanced, feeling refreshed. As you're sitting here, or if you're lying, go ahead and find a seated position. We're going to just start by working the neck out. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed for this. Start by bringing your chin down to your chest. Your palms can continue to rest on your thighs. I just want to tick-tock the neck left to right slowly. The chin goes from the left shoulder to the right shoulder. Gently back and forth, back and forth. As you feel that tension begin to melt away on the backs and sides of the neck. Come back to center with your chin. Take your palms and clasp them behind your low back and just pull the arms down toward the floor as your chin reaches for your chest. Getting a deeper stretch. If you want even more, you can begin to bring your arms out toward the back wall, like so. Keeping the chin down to the chest. Feeling a nice little shoulder stretch, release tension. Release your palms, bring them back to your thighs. Keeping your chin to the chest, a couple head circles, neck circles. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Roll the back of the head to the spine. Left ear, left shoulder. The chin comes back to the neck, to the chest. Continue at this pace, or maybe you slow it down. Continue to roll around one direction. Maybe you'll hear a couple creaks and cracks that release. Only go as deep as what feels like. The muscles are releasing. We don't want any pain. We don't want any pinching. If you feel anything too tight, you can stop for a moment, maybe hold there. Try and breathe through it. Roll back around. Meet me with your chin to your chest in a moment there. Last circle. Simply going the other way. Begin to roll your left ear to the left shoulder. Back of the head to the spine. Right ear, right shoulder. Chin comes to the chest. Again, continue at this pace or a pace that works better for you. Maybe you feel a little more tension or tightness going this direction. Maybe you want to pause for a moment and let something settle. Listen to your body, listen to the muscles. This is where we get present. We want to concentrate on what we're doing. You don't want to just do it to be doing it. You want to do it with intention. Find your last time around. And meet me with your chin to your chest. Then again, rock left to right a little bit, open up. And you can begin to face forward, bring your head up. Good. We're going to do some twisting, some opening through the low spine. To start, bring your hands by your sides. Inhale, the palms come up to meet overhead. On your exhale, twist right. Your right arm goes behind, left arm comes to the top of the right thigh. You're going to look over your back right shoulder. Feel a nice twist to the spine. You want to make sure your hips are staying facing forward. You want to feel a nice deep twist and stretch. Keep the spine nice and long. Think of the head to the ceiling. Look over that back shoulder. Really twist deeply here. Every time you take in an inhale, release a little. And on the exhale, go a little deeper, making space in the spine. On the next inhale, come back through center. Arms come up, palms meet overhead. Exhale, twist opposite direction. Left arm goes behind. Right arm comes to the top of the left thigh. Look over that back left shoulder. Reaching, twisting. As I said, every time you inhale, release a little bit. And on the exhale, see how much deeper you can twist and really open up. Make space. Little deeper. And on your next inhale, come back through center. Exhale, palms meet and come through heart center. If you're sitting on a block or anything that's in your way, you can remove that now. You're going to take your bottoms of your feet and they're going to meet like you're doing butterfly pose. The more your feet are in front of you, the less intense it'll be. So if you have any knee problems or if that's uncomfortable in your hips, the more you take your feet out in front of you, the less intensity. The closer they are, the deeper the intensity. So I want you to take your hands and grasp onto your feet. And I just want you to butterfly those legs. That's going to open up your thighs, your hip joints, just preparing for the deep stretches we're going to get into in a little bit. Good. As you do this, sit nice and long. Think of your shoulders rolling down and back. Start to pull your feet up towards you, towards your belly button, as your heels stay on the mat. Feel a nice stretch to the sides of the feet, pulling them up towards your navel. Again, we don't want to be crouching forward. Think of the spine long, shoulders rolling down and back. Keep your head tall, so we're aligning the spine as well. Take a breath in here. On the exhale, the feet can come down and start to pull yourself forward. As you're pulling yourself forward, we don't want to arch the spine to try and reach as deep as we can. We want to think of pulling our chest down toward our feet. Now again, the closer your heels are to your person, the more depth that you're going to get in this. So if I'm here, you'll notice I can go a little deeper real easily. But when they're back here, you're going to feel that tension. And that's what we want to work through. So as you start to come forward, notice how you feel. Where are you holding tension? Our hips hold so much tension because they hold us up all day. So as you're pulling yourself forward, think of your chest meeting your toes. Then eventually, the more you do this stretch, you'll eventually get yourself toward the floor all the way. This is our first hip stretch of the morning, so there's no need to go too deep right now. Trust me, we'll get much deeper into the hips as we go. So breathe. Good. Come back up. Release your feet. Take them out long in front of you. As you're sitting here, I want you to scooch so you're nice and tall. Think of spreading the glutes out a little bit and keeping your hips straight forward. Flex your toes back. Now this is where you can grab a strap or a belt or a towel if you want to try and reach for the toes. So as we're here, notice how my spine stays aligned. And you can take your hands to your shins. And we want to keep the spine long. Again, don't arch forward. That's just going to strain the neck. It's not doing anything for you. So as you reach forward, start to walk your hands slowly down. If you want that belt, you can use that to pull the toes back. But as you start to come forward, if you can reach your toes, try and reach for the outside of the pinkies and pull your toes back towards your face. You're going to really feel this through your hamstrings. You're going to feel it towards your Achilles, which run up the backs of your heels, if you're pulling those toes back. Continue to come forward. Think of gazing forward over your toes. The spine is staying long. Maybe your elbows start to meet your mat. Think of yourself being folded in half. Again, a lot of tension and tightness right now as we're just getting started. Think of pulling yourself forward towards your toes, and maybe eventually forehead meets down. I want you to take one more breath here. Remember, don't hold tension in your face. Take a breath. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. Notice if you're scrunching your face. Let it all go. On your next inhale, slowly walk the hands back up. Good. From here, you're going to reach your left hand to the tips of your right feet, your right toes. Again, you can have a strap here. If this is too much, bend that right knee so you can reach the right toes. We're going to twist open to our right. So left hand to right toes, twist open to the right. Don't move the whole hips. We want to keep the hips facing forward. If you want to go to the next level, begin to find balance here by lifting that right foot up with the left hand on it. Again, if you want a little more depth, begin to straighten that knee. Twisting open. Bring your right hand off the floor, and you're just twisting open and balancing. Stay just like this. I'm just going to show you from the side. So we're open and we're stretching. Pulling back on that foot. Maybe you go a little higher. Pulling open. Find that balance. And then slowly begin to bring the foot down. Bend the right knee. Flex the left foot. And you're going to take your right elbow and try and go forward in front of the right shin. You're just reaching now for that left foot with both hands. Nice little hip opener. You're probably going to feel this in your IT band, the iliotibial band that runs on the outside of the left hip. The closer your heel is to you, the more tense and depth you're going to get. The closer it is out away, the less. Really pull that left foot forward. Maybe you start to go deeper. See your depth. And really begin to stretch it out. Good. Take one more breath here. Try and go a little deeper on your exhale. And on your next inhale, walk your hands back up. Take your right leg long. Good. This time, right hand reaches for the left foot. So opposite hand to foot. Again, if you'd like and you can't reach, use a towel or a strap or bend that left knee to start. You're going to twist open. Twist to your left. Keep the spine long. If you want more, find that balance. Left foot comes up. Maybe you straighten that left leg. Right foot or right hand is reaching for the left. Try and flex to the right foot. Reach back and twist. Feel a nice opening again through that IT band, outside of the left hip. See if you can get your foot a little higher, twist a little deeper. And then slowly come forward. If your foot is up, bring it down. Bend the left knee in. Flex those right toes. Those are the ones you're going to be reaching for. Take your left arm, elbow in front of that left knee, and reach for the right foot. Again, you can straighten this a little closer forward so you can get deeper, or for more depth and more stretch, get that heel as close to your glute as you can. See how much deeper you can go. Maybe your elbows start to come to your mat if you've got that flexibility. If not, that's what we're here working on. Building slowly. Again, little deeper. Take another breath here on the inhale. On your exhale, release forward a little deeper. On your next inhale, begin to walk yourself back up. Straighten that leg out in front of you and release. I want you to bring both feet in. Feet come together one more time, just like we started. And I want you to notice your hips if they're starting to open a little more. Bring your feet in towards you. Pull yourself forward like we did previously. See if you can get a little more depth. This is a good way to gauge how open your hips are getting. Remember to keep your spine long as you pull yourself forward. Good, and release. I want you to walk your hands forward, come to all fours. We're gonna move into frog pose, getting even deeper into those hips. For this, you're welcome to put a blanket down or in soft padding if you need it. Our knees are gonna be out wide. So bring your feet out, knees out to the outside edges of the mat. They're gonna come off the mat. So for frog pose, your feet are gonna go down, so the arch side is down like frog legs. Now you can stay right here. If you want more intensity, just really start to spread the knees open. We don't want to sit the hips back like child's pose. You want them forward. And then you can walk your hands forward. You can come to your forearms. You can come to a pillow. Depending on the depth and flexibility you have in your hips, you can come all the way down to your belly. I just want you to find what works for you here. What you want to be concentrating on are those hips opening. And think of those feet flexing towards your face. So the more you flex your toes, that's going to protect the knees. Protecting the knees from any tears or rips and those MCLs, PCLs, those ligaments that hold your knee together. We want to protect those. So flexing the feet in stretches really helps that. It's more of an active stretch. Maybe you're slowly sliding your knees a little further apart. Doing this stretch daily is so good. It opens up your hips. It opens up the joint space so much, makes so much space. The more you do it, the more you're going to really feel the opening each day. Take a couple breaths here. Again, notice the hips beginning to open and make space. Take another inhale. Nice deep exhale. Good. We're going to slowly move out of this. Bring yourself up if you're on your belly. To come out, bring your feet together first and slowly slide your knees in. That's just going to help protect you. And we'll come into all fours. Sit yourself back. We're going to keep the toes tucked. We're going to do a little toe stretch. You're going to sit your hips onto your toes. Now you can stay here if that's a lot of intensity for you. This is going to be an intense stretch. If you never stretch your toes, you're going to start to feel that you really need to. So as you're here, you can either stay or you can come up and sit. But my toes are tucked under. Another option is to put a pillow underneath onto your thigh or onto your shins, your heels, shins. And then you're going to sit back on it. That's going to also take intensity off. So find what works. We are going to be here for a minute or so, and you're going to start to feel those toes ignite. Now, as we do that, we're going to open up the shoulders, try and take our mind off the toes. Inhale, the arms open. On the exhale, we're going to do eagle arms. Right arm's going to come underneath the left elbow. You can stay here and grab opposite shoulders, or you can press the backs of the arms together, or you can do the full palm over palm. Once you're here, begin to lift the elbows a little higher wherever you are and feel that stretch between your scapula. I want you to breathe through all the tension and tightness. Don't scrunch your face here, let go. Try and lift your elbows a little higher. Maybe you start to lean back a little. Feel a little front body stretch and back bend. Breathe here. One more big breath in. One more big exhale out. And begin to unwind, release. I want you to bring your hands forward to all fours, and you're going to untuck the toes. As you do that, slowly take the tops of your feet and just kind of paddle them out. You're going to feel that release through your toes. Let go of that tension. That's so good for plantar fasciitis. For those of you that stand all day, runners. From here, we're going to come back and set our hips to our heels. You're going to bring your hands to your thighs and start to lean back. Now, if you want some extra balance, we're going to lift the knees, and you're going to feel that opening through the front of your feet, the opening through the ankles. If you want to go even further, bring one hand to your knee and then the other. Concentrate on something that's not moving and find balance here. So any layer will work as long as you're opening up. This is an opposite of the toe stretch. And then bring your hands by your sides and slowly come forward. Good, coming back to all fours. We're going to do it again. So this time you're going to really notice, just kind of roll out your ankles for a second. Scrunch your toes, prepare them. We know the intensity that's coming this time. Hopefully it'll feel a little less intense every time you do this. You can do this anytime, anywhere that you are just sitting at home watching TV. Go ahead and come back onto your heels. Just do it for a minute or so each day. Stay resting back on those heels. Good. We're going to do the same thing with the arms. Bring them out. We're just going to move on to the opposite side. So left arm's going to come underneath that right elbow. Again, you can put the backs of the palms together, reach for opposite elbow or shoulders, or wrap all the way around, palm to palm for the full eagle arm twist. Once you're here, start to lift the elbows in alignment with the shoulders. You should feel this opening the shoulders, opening up to the scapula, the shoulder blades. And if you took a little back bend last time, why don't you go for it again here? Start to open and lean back. You can let the head fall back if it feels okay on the cervical spine. Give me a nice deep breath in. Unclench your jaw. Unclench your face. Let go of it all. We don't want to move tension from one space to another. Exhale, release out. Here it comes. Bring your palms down. You're going to untuck those toes. Feel that nice open release. Tap the feet. Good. Sit your hips back this time with your feet flat on the mat, the tops of your feet. You can stay here, just opening up the ankles. You can start to lean back and find balance. You can keep your palms back here. You can do one, then the other, or just one if you're working on the balance. Concentrate on something not moving. And think of everything squeezing to the middle. If you feel like you're not balanced, hold your core tight here. Good. I want you to slowly take yourself out of this position. Good. Come forward to all fours. Lift your feet up, roll them out. Let them go. Get those creaks and cracks. I know I'm cracking. We're going to move into a little more balance with our toes tucked now that we've loosened them up. But this time we're going to bring the heel or the knees up. So we're on the balls of the feet. Now this is where you could put books or blocks for balance if you want help. Or just kind of lean forward a little bit so your fingers are down. Now we want to make sure the spine is straight. We don't want to be going like this, tucking. We're doing a straight spine. Look ahead. And this is again where you're going to find balance. You can take one hand off and put it on your thigh. Working on one and then the other. You can bring your hands to heart center. Press your palms together, elbows out wide. You could even bring your arms out in front of you. Squeeze your thighs together as you find balance here. You're working toward a nice balance. Staying on the balls of the feet, hips are sitting on the heels. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your palms down, come forward, untuck the toes, tap them out. Good. While we're here, we'll do a couple cat-cows, opening the spine for some twists we'll be doing in a little bit. Find a neutral spine. Think of your navel pulling back to the spine. Tops of the feet are on the mat. Shoulders are over top of the wrists. Hips are over top of the knees. Take in a deep breath. Drop the belly down. Gaze will go up. Tailbone points to the sky. And on the exhale, I want you to arch the spine. Tuck the tailbone in. Chin comes to the chest. Press away from your mat. Palms are nice and wide here. Inhale, gaze up. This is your cow pose. Tailbone's going up. Belly's dropping down. And exhale, cat pose. Arching the spine. Tuck the tailbone. Chin to chest. Continue here, inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Maybe you want to go a little faster. Maybe you want to slow it down. Wherever you are, make space in your joints, make space in the body, waking it up and breathing. Give me 2 more here of your cat-cows, 2 more inhales, 2 more exhales. And once you're there, I want you to meet me in a neutral spine where we started. Good. Once we're to that neutral spine, I'm going to show you from the front what we'll be doing first. So you're going to take your right hand and go forward and reach like you're shaking someone's hand. Gaze is going to stay down. That's going to keep a nice neutral spine. So we're here. And you're going to take your left foot and go out. Remember to pull your navel to the spine. Flex that back foot like you're kicking through the wall, like your heel's going through the back wall. Try and go a little higher. Really feel it through your glutes. Really feel your navel pulling in. Don't let your back sag. We want to keep the back nice and high. Now, if you want a little more intensity, start to bring your left foot out to the side. Then take your right arm and go out to the side. You're finding balance. Try and lift that heel for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Everything comes to the mat. Relax for a moment. That builds intensity quick, doesn't it? We're going to move into the other side. Give yourself a minute. Take a nice deep breath in. And a nice exhale out. Left hand's going to come forward like you're shaking someone's hand. And I'll show you from the front this time. Left hand's forward. Start to kick the right foot back. As you kick the right foot back, remember your heel is kicking through that back wall. Your toes are flexing forward. Gaze is down. If you want that extra intensity, begin to take that right foot out to the side. Try and keep it lifted. Feel that through your glutes. Left hand can come out to the side. You're finding balance for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring everything to the mat. Breathe. Bring your knees apart, heels together, child's pose. Walk your hands down. Rest your forehead to the mat. Stay here for just a moment. In that nice child's pose, your hips are sitting on your heels. Your arms are out long in front of you. Maybe you start to massage the front of your forehead left to right. Find your breath. Nice deep breaths in. Nice deep breaths out. Releasing. Good. On your next inhale, slowly begin to walk the hands back up. Come back to all fours. Moving into our first down dog. Tuck your toes. Shoot your hips up high. And press back. Now in down dog, a lot of times people are either too close together, so their dog is short, which sometimes we call for that in some poses, but in this, or sometimes you're too far back. You really just want to make that nice, perfect V with your body. Think of coming from all fours. When you're in all fours, if you just tuck those toes and shoot the hips up and back, you're going to nail exactly where you should be. Think of your heels melting down. You can pedal them down one at a time, opening the backs of the legs. Think of your palms nice and wide. If you have wrist issues, dig the tips of your finger pads into the mat. Try and dome up the palms of your hands. That's going to take pressure off the wrists. Let your head hang and push through your palms, trying to push your hips higher. Think of your chest trying to press back towards your thighs. And let your head fall between the biceps. Really feel that opening. If you're pedaling your feet, just rest them for a moment, no movement. I want you to take a nice deep breath in. A nice open mouth exhale. On your next inhale, bring both heels high, keeping everything the same. And on the exhale, roll your heels out to your right and then melt them down. So they're just moving to the side. Try and keep your hips facing toward the mat. Keep your shoulders squared off, and you're going to feel a stretch to that IT band on the side. Come inhale, come back through center, roll the heels over the balls of the feet, and on the exhale, roll them over to the side, same thing. This time you'll feel it on the outside of the right hip. Breathing here, keep both palms down for this. And inhale, come back up to center, and exhale, melt both heels down. For a little balancing, you should come forward, shift to plank for a moment. And then exhale, come back. I want you to take your right hand and reach for the opposite ankle, shin, knee. So right hand to left side. You can reach for the outside, and you're just going to twist open so you're gazing under that left shoulder, that left armpit. If this is too much, you can walk your feet closer for more balance. So that's where you use your feet closer. Just twist open. Really twist the shoulders, find balance here. Again, you can reach for your knee, you can reach for the toes, wherever works, your capabilities, hip, and then come back forward. Shift your foot forward to a high plank again. And exhale, come back, this time left hand to right ankle, shin, hip, and then start to twist yourself looking under the right armpit. Twisting deeper, nice and open. Good, bring your hand back forward. From here, you're in down dog. I want you to slowly walk yourself forward, one heel at a time. If you want some deep stretch, try and keep the feet flat, the legs straight, depending on your depth of flexibility. You're meeting in ragdoll pose. When you're in ragdoll pose, your feet are about hips width distance apart. You can have a slight bend in the knees. That's going to take pressure off the spine. So if you take a bend in the knees, you're going to feel more of an opening through the spine. You can let the hands hang heavy like a gorilla. Let your head hang. If you want a little more, you can straighten the legs. That's going to open up the backs of the legs and allow that spine to not have as much release, but instead you're going to be concentrating on those hamstrings. So whichever way, you can get a little neck stretch in. If you have your knees bent, clasp your hands and rest it on the base of the skull, that occipital bone, that part that sticks out, and just allow yourself to hang. You don't want to be tension and trying to look up. Let everything melt and hang, including your hands. You're using that pressure and weight from your hands to just release the spine. Your torso is laying flat on your thighs because of that bend in the knees for this. Now, if you want to open the shoulders, take your palms and clasp them behind the low back. That might be enough for you, or if you want more, start to let them fall open to the sky and then all the way over. You can go left to right. Feel those shoulders opening. Good. And breathe. Then bring your hands down and release. Good. You might hear the dog barking in a minute. From here, I'm going to have you just release your hands and slowly begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Like you're going through molasses, nice and slow. Let your head be the last thing to come up. You're facing forward in Tadasana and mountain pose. Good. Notice how your body's feeling. Think of how you were feeling from the beginning of class until now. We're going to work into tree pose, a nice balancing. I love tree pose. There's so many options. There's something for everyone, no matter how intense you want to make it. We're going to start with our left foot taking the weight. Right foot's going to be coming off the mat. So your options here. You can start, if you've never done this, you can start by kickstanding. We're finding balance here. Hands can just be out, or you can bring them to heart center. If you want the next layer, bring it up to your calf. Just don't have it on the knee. Bring it right below. So the arch of your foot's just kind of wrapping around your calf. Just remember, wherever you are, think of the knee pulling to the back of the room. Keep your hips flexed forward or facing forward. Knee is reaching out and back. Next layer, come up to the inner thigh. Good. Now, if you're here, I want you to think of pressing your foot into your inner thigh. Knee is reaching for the back of the room. Left hip is going back. You're staying nice and squared off. Press your foot into your inner thigh as you lift the kneecap of the left leg. That's going to really intensify everything. It's going to make you really work that lower body. If you want even more in depth, you want another ankle opener as well, you can do hot tree pose. Top of the foot is in that left hip crease. And you're breathing here. That left ankle should start to light up. It's really taking on all the weight of the body. Now, if you want to do something fun with your hands, you can bring them out. You can bring them up. You can keep them at heart center. You can bring them behind the back. Just stay where you are. If you want even deeper, you can take your right hand. If you're in this hot tree pose, take your right peace fingers and wrap them around and grab for your toes on that left foot. Then try and keep the shoulders forward. This hand can just be out to the side, or you can wrap it back for a double stretch. Good. Start to breathe. If you want a little more, try and close your eyes. Really find where you are in your balance by closing your eyes. See where that takes you. It's a nice challenge. Good. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Begin to unwind, come out, roll out that ankle. Good. Moving into the other side, right foot takes the weight, find your depth. You can take your kickstand. You can take it at the calf. And this side might be different. You might find that you can do more on this side. That's completely fine. Just find whatever balances you. Inner thigh. And again, when you're on that inner thigh, I really want you to lift the right kneecap up. That's going to, if you notice that, that's going to really intensify the hips and your quads. Those are the biggest muscles in your body. They hold everything up. Think of your knee pushing to the back of the room. Press your foot into those quads. Again, you can grow your branches up. If you want more, go into your hot tree. The top of the foot meets into that hip crease. You can find that bind. That's going to open your shoulders. And breathe here. I want you to think of that knee pushing back toward the back of the room. That's opening those hips. If you want more, close your eyes. You might find you're more balanced on this leg. Might be easier, might be harder. It changes for me. I know I vary. Sometimes my right leg is my stability and sometimes it's my left. What we're trying to do is do things on both sides of the body. Evening out, balancing both sides for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release out and roll out the ankle. Good. I want you to roll out both feet, both ankles. What we're going to do from here, take the inhale, bring your big toes together. Actually, bring them out. We'll do a nice squat here before we move on. Inhale your arms up. And on the exhale, bring them through heart center, and we're going to go into a squat. Now, as you're here, you might only be able to go here. You can come onto the tops of your feet if you want to balance. Or if you want more, I'm just going to show you from the front, you can come fully into your Malasana squat. Your elbows are the insides of the knees. Now, I'll show you with a block. You could use pillows or anything. You can put that underneath of your glutes, and that can help if you need a little balancing help. Now, if you are down deep, like so, and you want to do even more intensity, press your palms together and press the elbows to the inside of the knees and press the knees away. Try and keep your spine long. Think of the head coming to the ceiling again. We don't want to be forward like this and crunching through the body. Remember, we're opening the body. We're balancing the body. We're making space. Really press those elbows into the inner thighs and breathe. Your hips should be getting pretty open by now. Big hip openers. And if you want to rock, you can. Good. Now bring your hands down. And we're going to slowly lift the hips up to the sky. Heel toe your feet into hips width distance. We're going to do a quick gorilla pose. You're going to take the palms of your hands and lift the balls of your feet. And you're going to take each of those balls of the feet and put them on your palms. Now, when you're here, your knees can start out being bent. So my knees are bent. And start to bring pressure onto your palms. So the balls of the feet are pressure onto those palms, giving them a nice little massage. If you want more intensity, start to straighten the legs. And you can start to pull your forehead towards your shins. Let the elbows just fall open. Just be careful, don't rock too far, as you'll feel you will somersault. So if you do it, tuck and roll. All right, good. Start to massage up and down. Feel that pressure, head's hanging heavy. Good, release each palm, palm down. Next one, we're gonna grab peace fingers, and we're gonna grab the insides of the big toes. Now for this one, we're gonna do somewhat of the same thing. Knees can be bent here, and then think of your elbows going out to the sides. Press your big toes into the peace fingers. Let your head hang heavy, and then start to pull up on your toes as your toes are pressing into the peace fingers. Really pull out to the sides, let your elbows go out. Pull your head down. This is an active pose. You should feel activeness in your arms. And release. Undo the fingers. Good. On the next inhale, halfway lift yourself up. Find yourself a nice little flat spine. Pull your head forward. And on the exhale, bend your knees. Come down. And we're going to find a seat. Good. Now we worked a lot through the hips. So I want to see how open your hips are feeling at this point. We're going to come back to that first stretch. Bottoms of the feet together. Again, further out. It's going to be less intense, closer, and more intense. Grab for your feet. Start by pulling them up towards you. Your feet and ankles should be quite open as well, whether you realize it or not. So you might be able to get your feet a little further up. Sit up tall, shoulders are rolling back. And then come down and forward and see how much further you can go. Maybe your elbows come in front of your shins. I want you to really think about opening your hips. And I want you to let go of the intensity in your face. Let go of clenching in the jaw. Pulling yourself forward. Good. On your next inhale, slowly begin to come up. And we're going to take our legs forward. Same stretch we did in the beginning. Inhale, long spine. Again, reach for your toes. If it's not accessible, you can bend the knees and reach for the toes. If you're working on getting deeper in this, start with them bent and then slowly straighten them as you go forward. Pull back on the toes. You can use your strap here if you'd like. Reach forward. Again, keeping the spine long. Think of the chest reaching for the shins. And breathe here. Good. On your next inhale, start to come up. And we're going to work a little more lying down. So bend your knees to start, and we're going to lay flat. Once you're here, you're going to take your left ankle and cross it behind the right knee. Flex your left foot, and then start to pull in for reclined figure four. So your hands can reach behind the thigh here, or you can reach for the front of the shin. But that left hand is going through that keyhole you made. So the left hand will go through the hole you made in between your legs, and you can reach. Now, a lot of people want to keep their head up because they're trying to reach forward, but what you want to do is keep the back of your head on the mat as you pull your legs in. That left elbow can also press into the left knee and press it away from you as you pull in. And like I said before, flexing your feet protect the knees. So this left knee needs protection, so we don't pull, tear anything. Keep the left foot flexed. You'll get a little more intensity and protection of your ligaments. So really pull that in. Breathe here. And remember, keep the back of the head on the mat. Take one more deep breath. See if you can squeeze a little deeper. Good. On the exhale, bring your foot flat to the mat. Take your left foot up and release it down. Hug the right knee back in. And here you're hugging it towards your chest, towards your armpit. You can roll out that ankle here if you'd like. Good. Squeezing in. Take a big breath in here. And on your exhale, we're going to do a supine twist. So take that left knee, cross it over the body. You can come up on the left hip. As you're here, right arm's going to come out. And you're going to feel a nice stretch. You're trying to keep your shoulders on the mat. So if that means this knee is up, that's completely fine. You can put a block or a pillow if you want. But try and make sure that right shoulder's down, left shoulder's down, and see how deep you can go. Your gaze can go off to the right. Feeling the twist opening in the spine. If you want more depth, you can straighten the right leg and grab for it with the left hand. All kinds of options here depending on your depth. If you straighten that leg and reach for the right toes with the left fingers, you're going to feel an IT band stretch on the outside of the right hip. If that's not accessible, completely fine. Just stay in your supine twist. Good. On your next inhale, we're going to slowly come out. Release the toes if you're grabbing them. Bring your knees back to center. Hug both knees in. Good. Bring your feet flat to the mat. This time, take your right ankle, cross it behind the left. Same thing, you're going to take the right hand this time though and go through the keyhole you made. So thread the needle through, pull your left knee in. Remember the right foot this time is staying flexed. You can grab for the back of the thigh, or if you want more depth, grab for the front of the shin. Right knee can press, or right elbow can press that right knee away. Roll out your left ankle. Think of your back of your head being flat on the mat. You can kind of tuck the chin to the chest as your head lays there. That's going to help elongate the spine. Squeeze it in. Feeling your hips opening, releasing. As you take another breath here. And on your next exhale, release your hands, bring the left foot down, right leg goes long, and release it to the mat. Left knee this time will stay in, pull it into your left elbow or armpit. Squeezing here, back of the neck stays on the mat. You can roll out the ankle again. Moving into supine twist, find the same thing. I'm going to roll up onto the right hip. Try and keep the left shoulder down. Gaze goes to the left. Remember, only go as far as until that, if that left shoulder wants to come up, you're going too far. You're losing the supine twist of the spine. Now again, if you want more, you can reach that foot and grab with the opposite hand. Feel that IT band stretch on the outside again. Breathing, releasing. One more breath. Good. Starting to come and release. Come back through center. I want you to hug both knees into the chest. You can rock left to right. And if you want one more hip opener, let's find happy baby. You can grab for big toes. You can grab for the inner arches of your feet. You can grab for your ankles. Whatever works. And just rock left to right if it feels good. If you want to straighten one leg than the other, your hips are nice and open now. You can see and feel how much more open you've become. Good, release your feet, hug your knees in one last time, and this time bring your forehead up to the knees and squeeze yourself together into a little bowl. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And on your exhale, moving into Shavasana. Everything's nice and long, the most important pose of class. Hands are by the sides, palms face up or down. Feet are falling out. There's no tension in the body. Everything's releasing. Everything's relaxing. I want you to stay here and breathe. I am going to bring you back in a few minutes, but I want you to take this time for yourself to let everything that we just worked on to settle in. As you're letting everything settle, I want you to take note if there's any tension in your face, in your jaw, if you're clenching anything, breathe and let go. Think of your eyes resting back in their sockets, your head melting into the floor. Scan your body, noticing how far you've come from 60 minutes ago. We'll have a few moments here. Take this time for you, and I'll bring you back in just a few moments. To roll out the wrists, maybe scrunch the palms open and closed. Maybe roll out the ankles. Keeping your eyes closed, take your head left to right. Massaging the back of the scalp. If you want to bring your arms up overhead and reach while your toes reach the opposite direction, as if you're pulling your body apart, give yourself that big good morning stretch. Take a big breath in here. And a big exhale out. You can bring your knees up to your chest and roll onto your left or right side for just a moment. Rest your cheek on your bicep. Find that nice embryo pose, the fetal position, a space of comfort. And when you're ready, begin to push yourself up and have a seat with your eyes closed, palms together at heart center. Head is bowed. I want you to take one more quick glance of your body mentally and physically and feel how you've changed, how you've opened, you found balance. Find gratitude within yourself for showing up for this practice. Bring your thumbs up to third eye center, the space between the eyebrows, the space of intuition, the space of open-mindedness, open-minded with ourselves, open-minded to one another. Bowing forward, namaste.